How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out, means a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff. So, getting right into it, we're moving on to idle transfiguration, the technique used by none other than Mahito. Not that he's a bad villain, I just don't like Mahito. I don't like him as a person. I don't think anybody likes him as a person. Anyway, Mahito has stated that the body is dependent on the soul comes first, therefore the shape of the body is pulled along by the shape of the soul. While he is not 100% accurate in everything that he said about the soul and the body, it is true that his technique allowing him to shape souls allows him to, well, shape bodies as well. And if he does shape your soul, he can do basically anything he wants with it. He can basically do anything he wants with his own soul as well. Just by a touch of Mahito's hand, he can shrink you down into a little tiny transfigured human. He can misshape your body and leave you active and make you fight for him. He can do all kinds of stuff. He can shape his own body pretty much however he wants. He can go tiny. He can take a little snake form. He can make little chain arm thing, death whip. I don't know what you call that. It was terrifying. Along with this, he has a few additional techniques that he uses mainly in combination with transfigured humans. The first of these additional techniques or extension techniques is soul multiplicity. This is where Mahito takes more than one soul, combines them together, and due to the souls rejecting one another, there is an extremely violent reaction causing them to explode apart. Doing this with multiple souls gives you body repel, which is just, well, soul multiplicity on a higher level. We've also seen him use a technique called polymorphic soul isomer. This is where he takes souls, combines them together, but without such an intense rejection of the combination, they can combine together to create a mass that can actually fight and do quite a bit of damage. Outside of this, we've seen him use a technique that transforms his body called instant spirit body of distorted killing. Yeah, that sounds like something that Bakugo would, like, make an attack name after. Like, Bakugo's ultimate attack at the end of My Hero Academia will probably be called Instant Spirit Body of Distorted Killing. I'm just saying, that's like right up his alley. But yeah, his body and soul take a shape that is probably pretty good at killing and distorting things. Because, yeah, it's kind of terrifying. Alright, get it off screen. Nobody needs to look at that. Okay, outside of all of these things, we have also seen a domain expansion from Mahito, and this is his self-embodiment of perfection. And pretty much this does the same thing every domain expansion does, besides Sukuna's. And it makes a barrier that you can't really escape from and you can't really get into. Well, you can get into, it's still a little difficult, but anyway. And this pretty much just allows him to use his normal technique on your soul, no matter what, as long as you're inside the barrier. He can use the technique at any time. So unless you can protect from the technique, which is very difficult to do, you're kind of just screwed. So yeah, it's kind of like all domain expansions. If you're inside it, you're kind of just screwed, unless you have your own domain expansion. I mean, you can fight it off for a little bit, but not very long. I will say it is probably a harder domain expansion to defend yourself from compared to one like, oh, I can't even remember the name of Dagon's. The Captivating Skanda. Something the Captivating Skanda. That one is like fish with razor sharp teeth attacking you rapidly. Like, that's a little bit easier to defend against than like just your soul being distorted from the inside. Like, that, we're talking two different levels here. But that kind of just goes for Mahito's technique in general. The only way to really defend against it is to be able to defend your soul or shape your soul yourself. This is something that most people cannot do. So for the most part, you can really just defend with cursed energy, which helps to mitigate the amount of damage. But when we saw Mahito fight Nanami, it's not something you can reliably just do. It allowed Nanami to not die instantly from the first attack, but Nanami also said, I can't keep doing that. That really hurt. That's going to mess me up. So it's extremely difficult to defend against. However, you can't also just run away from him. If he can't catch you, he can't really hurt you because he has to touch you. But if you're trying to fight him and exercise him, most people got to get pretty close. But that's really all there is to it. Touch. Can basically do whatever he wants to you after that point, as long as you can't defend. So, not a super complicated one. It may seem kind of complex. It's more of the concept behind the technique of the body and the soul and the connection between those two things. That is much more complicated. And we don't even know the full truth about it, even though I feel like we can kind of piece together. But the actual technique itself just allows him to manipulate the soul, which does indeed manipulate the body. So, yeah, he can shapeshift in really crazy ways and make other people shapeshift against their will. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Obviously, it's fun to make. It's Jujutsu Kaisen. I love talking about this series, and I can't wait for it to come back. I believe August 2nd. Praise the sweet little Lord, baby Jesus. I'm so happy I could do the boogie woogie. I don't know why I ended up on the ground that time. I'm a little rusty with this technique. Definitely going to start doing it more. I'll see you later, guys. Have a good one.